Hey there, welcome to Carcassonne. It's another CCL doubleheader. First off, we start with majkls versus maticarrizoc. Majkls so far with 3 wins out of 3 matches, so unbeaten, only lost 1 of 7 games, and was even able to dispatch a Drea. Definitely no easy task. Today, with another match win, he for sure would secure a playoff ticket, and even with a loss, he still would have good chances. Then quite likely would need a win versus City in the last round. But on the other hand, if he were to lose both games by a 1-2, he would in the end have 8-5 game wins, and that should be enough, especially considering the mushy middle here in the Space League. Marty, on the other hand, well, a loss today, and he is out of contention and will definitely not make the playoffs. So he has to win by any means. Ideally, of course, by a 2-0. Yeah, especially with the 5th round versus Mikhail, who so far is unbeaten and won 8 of 10 games. That's definitely a tough task. So even a win today, I don't see him winning versus Mikhail, but that's a question for next week. Right now, let's hope he brings his master level play, which he definitely is capable of. Top rating in the 730s, roughly 5k games of experience. majkls, I think the most recent Czech master, I'm not really sure though. Peak rating slightly over 700. I think it was 701, 702. And even on stream, if I remember correctly. Let's check. Looks like a tournament, so we might have to wait a few seconds more. So then let's take a look at FanaticalLime and vegaorion, which are the 2 players we will witness in about an hour. Let's actually check whether they will go for tournament as well or use the regular time format. So far, no tournament set up. Okay. Stats later. Now let's focus on this first match here. Where is my scoreboard? Here's my scoreboard. Okay, so yeah, normal moves so far. Yellow, of course, takes the road, puts a tiny bit of pressure on the square. So far, totally negligible. Yeah, both scoring quick points. Blue does as well, pressuring here, forcing a mini battle between road and monastery, which it looks like will go into whose favor. Maybe they go here. I mean, if you want to play it safe, why not start a new city there? Which takes away options like this one. So move. So Marty protects his monastery. Yellow continues with the nice and shiny city on the left side, which could develop into a threat. Yeah, cow isn't ideal. Nonetheless, he goes for the ideal pattern, hoping to draw 2 Doritos here. Doesn't mind that blue would immediately attack this with any Dorito or triple city tile. This is a double-edged sword for blue here. So on one hand, they have another option to attack here. On the other hand, if they manage to draw a Dorito from the top, well, a restriction over here to the quad city and therefore a 50-50 isn't that unlikely to happen. So, bit tricky. Hey, everyone. Both getting extenders, both, of course, using them for their intended purpose, which is building up a nice and shiny 8-point city with an open city cap. Hey, Otto. Actually, I did know that you speak at least a tiny bit of German. So what Otto is saying, hi friends, basically, or maybe even dear friends, if you want to translate the Liebe as well. So what are we having? Yeah. Hello, nicely starting another city. Of course, not closing the one on the right side. There's still an extender out there. There are still twin caps out there pressuring this here. Blue defense, and rightfully so. Two of these daggers are gone, so any limitation with field side at the bottom would be pretty devastating. Yeah, blue just builds up their features. Went for a second monastery, now a third one. So far, didn't go after this year, but they just get city pieces and really nothing with roads except for this monastery here, at least in their last, I don't know, 5 or 6 turns. Now might be a chance. Problem being that this could very well end up in a one mini battle for yellow. But blue opts to protect their city, which definitely is a commendable cause as well. There are still 3 road Doritos left, and if they come with the benefit of a 4-point loop road, then why not go there? Also, in some cases, they might even meeple this field earlier. You see, would definitely be in yellow's interest to add a farmer up top ASAP. Like now, why not? Don't think that's a shoddy move. That actually pretty good idea. Doesn't really work to attack the city in most cases, especially when there are still 6 straights out there, only 2 on the board. But it definitely is a nice field attack. Yellow, of course, can do the same. Didn't mind sacrificing their road meeple. They're still starting tiles, so it's not dead yet. And they even opt to try and save their city, which is an interesting decision. Because this here benefits blue. If they get it, of course, they could either snatch the city or the field. doesn't really matter that on the other side, as a farmer, as of now, if there's anything placed over here, then the situation, of course, changes. Yeah. What Otto is saying, this here is a meta attack, attacking the attacking farmer. But actually, yellow had to drop the starting tile there anyway to save their city, so why not drop a farmer as well? You never know whether you get this Dorito first or blue does, and if blue does, well, at least you'd have two chances to immediately connect to the field with a lot of tempo. So for now, this looks like a pretty good situation for yellow, but with this Dorito, which, well, there are two out there, one with shield, one without. So it's a 9 or 11 point move for blue, minus the 3 points this farmer would gather. That more or less would then result in a tight game or a slim lead for blue. Let's see, for now, they attack the field up top, still have two routes to connect. Yellow might just close this city and start a new one, maybe even drop a farmer. There are still options to attack the main field on the right side as well. Yeah, they opt for the cap, which is definitely fine. There's the starting tile and an interesting question. Do you take the 4 points or do you add the farmer? And as the farmer is worth 9 points and attacks a side field that could still merge with the current main field, I think dropping the farmer right then and there was the right choice. Else you might run into stuff like this here, where yellow not just closes the road, but also takes this farm here. Even worse, so there's still a road monastery left. That would be a 15-point farm. Nothing to sneeze at, definitely. Yeah, and what does majkls do now? Restrict the connection, at least take away the curves to go here, which would also come with a 6-point loop. Might be one idea. On the other hand, this one definitely isn't a good idea, as that would supply a double whammy to blue. Could try to kill the monastery. On the other hand, as there are no splitters and no vanillas out there that actually would, in some cases, help blue's monastery, because they need one of the 3 remaining Doritos to close this anyway. Field attack over here, I don't know. It's not ideal with the city on the right side. Hey, Kyrillo. Yeah. And of course, there's this one, which would set up at least some killing options here, but I think with 3 in hand, I might have even just taken the city, the road there. Just in case blue gets a straight, at least some compensation would have been nice. Yeah, that's an idea as well. Of course, one small field over here, having 6 points and the attack, and it's an attack that is only blockable with a crossroad, as that would be the last one. Ooh, he goes for a good restriction try. What? Why is there no farmer? Could you ask for a better attack this late in the game than this one, with the guaranteed connection with one of 4 curves? Oh, Marty. Don't take pages out of my book, please. Well. I mean, he has 3 tiles to get this one back. He had 2 road Doritos to get this back, and it's sub 20 tiles anyway, so living with only 1 meeple in hand could have worked as well, especially when you already have 3 farmers in play. Yeah. Ooh. Oh. No. No. What? What am I missing? What's the big problem with killing this here immediately, this farm attack? Yeah. I don't know. Refresh? I don't think a refresh will help, but oh! Oh! When did this happen? PGA. So this happened right before blue closed their city on the left. And then, of course, this was the move for yellow. Not just protecting this connection, but also doubling down. Yeah, and now we are talking about a yellow field with 4 farmers on there. Versus, oh, wrong color. Yeah, 3 by blue. And the 4th one still waiting for curve. And here we go. Blue was able to liberate the monastery. Yellow jumped on the chance to kill blue's meeple immediately and attack the field. And now they are successful. And blue, if they want to take over the field, tie the field, excuse me, well, they need to add this one and another farmer. And they are down 8 points. And after this one, they only have 3 moves left. So this attack here definitely was a wise choice. Still good chances to connect there. Let's check. Are there other options with this? Yeah, actually, I think if I'm blue, I might even go for this one. There's still both monastery variants out there, and they don't add the farmer. I don't know why. I mean, do you need the meeple for something? I'm not sure. I mean, down 8 points. Sure, they could hope to score quick points with the road monastery and then take the monastery spot there. But I mean, in the end, it's about winning this farm, right? When you're down like this, and if you have this one and then 5 tiles to connect, curves over here, monasteries here, road monastery and curves on the right side. You still have 3 moves and only need to dodge the Dorito. Why not? Why not? Bottom right, yeah. Oh, there was the Dorito. Yeah, right. This one. I only thought about blocking this, not using it myself as blue. But yeah, that would have been a better idea because actually, would it? Does it really matter? I don't think so, Otto. Actually, I don't think so. Actually, I think this here is better. Because if you don't take this, yellow could. And then they'd have 2 tiles to connect. While you quite likely don't have the moves to connect and defend. And if you use this on the top left, then what could yellow do with this Dorito? Well, I could go for road monastery connections. Maybe better here. Yeah, sure, that's unblockable, but it's the same over there. Okay. Yeah, if you think that the field Dorito would fit there, then this here would have been better, of course. Boy, annoying and great move by yellow, forcing blue, well, to use the curve there now. Else, there's only one piece in the deck that couldn't block this connection. That's the monastery. Everything else would be an immediate kill. And then blue has to hope to connect through the remaining curve. Or to get specifically the road monastery and then the regular monastery, because otherwise yellow would in between kill this square. This here, I think, is the weaker move. Yeah, should be. Because it's a 75% chance for your opponent to kill this, whereas if you had connected here, you still had the 50-50 up top with the curve, and then in addition, the one monastery's permutation. So yellow only has to find their blocking move, which I'm pretty sure majkls will be able to. Oh, forget about it. Forget about it. This one has already connected, so yellow could do what they want, actually. They only need they don't even need to score points, because the best blue can do is get 1 point. Sometimes I'm in my head still in the optimal path, disregarding totally that the game itself didn't went that path. Yeah, the ruin is 5, this is 6. Sounds fine. Yeah, what Otto is suggesting is a nice idea as well. Right. Connect here, dump this one, hope to draw the road monastery. Yeah, and that would have improved their chances even more. So, yeah, it comes down to this connection here, which was a must instead of this one. So first, of course, and you need a second farmer as well. Yeah, right. This could have been blocked with the curve, but even then, blue would still have the double monastery connection available to them, again with this order. Yeah, tough. Blue got the curve. They could have won. Four points for Mati. Takes the road. Yellow might just go over here and try to equalize this, not allow blue to take over the road, of course. Not take over. Close the right one and attack yellow's road. Ugh. Yeah, what to do there? Attack yourself? Or just try to create problems? majkls goes for the attack, which should be the less volatile move, but we will see. Will he double down? Which I would have liked because of exactly moves like this one. Then you would have already have this one in place to immediately attack or at least harass this. Yeah. Hi, Kaika. The me god moment. But that's not a me god moment. Someone is antsy. I mean, one splitter is gone. There are still 8 Doritos out there. And now, well, yellow has to pull the trigger, right? Let's see whether they do or not. He does. He had to. Yeah. majkls has no meeples in hand. So maybe this one. I think this would have given better odds to blue to kill the square. And again, no meeples in hand for yellow, so stuff like this here, which would be pretty reckless anyway, wasn't in the cards. Yeah, I hope they don't try to attack this one again. from here on out. Sure, they are down by 14, but still. Oh yeah, and this way, this protection by yellow took away some options to re-attack the city, but gave this restriction to blue, basically. Yeah, what Otto was saying, just refrain from stuff like that. If you wanna play it safe, go here and attack the square. So for now, it looks like it definitely is in in blue's favor here. But if the horse drops into yellow's lap and they'd get, okay, and stop me right there. There's the horse. Why does this not save my changes? Oof, rough. No. I think with only one meeple in hand, okay, totally annoying, but I mean, there are still Doritos out there. 3 for here, 2 more. The problem, only 1 cow left, so a restriction to a triple city somewhere would have been problematic. So the choice of majkls to, well, try and at least save one of his cities seems to be the right one. Why? Why? Is it really necessary? I mean, there are so many caps to close your city, but not close the road. Why is there the need to give yellow options to close their road and then rest your city? Sometimes restrict this into a starting tile and kill it. I don't see it. But it works for blue. They even attack yellow's road, get the monastery. Beautiful stuff if you draw the right tiles at the right time from the deck. Yeah, the city is not dead yet, but the situation over here, all daggers are gone, but there are 3 tiles to go here after Marty's move. Yellow with an easy save. Sure, they need to hit vanilla or the remaining splitter before Blue gets a straight to kill this, or the road monastery to restrict this square to a 50-50, but yeah. Wise words, Otto, wise words. Lovely, lovely. Some love from the deck for yellow, and well, some of blue moves. Let me think that yellow deserves it. Come on, go for it. Please, go for it. There are still road ends left to get a meeple back. There are 2 starting tiles to get a meeple back. Yes, yes. And oh yeah, the remaining dagger as well. Of course, you'd like to get this dagger with the meeple in hand. Ugh. Quad City. Totally annoying. Now we'll see blue equalizing or just not. This time both are valid choices, but if you're ahead, just equalize it. And there is the dagger. Oh, and there's still a splitter. Let's consider this for a moment. Too many tiles that immediately restrict this one to go for the splitter there. Problem being, blue gets a road end before yellow does and snatches the 8-point road, which more or less should seal the deal. So looks to me like yellow has to go for the field attack through the starting tile. It's a 12-point field, right? Yeah, still not enough, but at least closer. Yeah, still 2 starting tiles left. I mean, come on, go for it. Next content move, please. No, city is definitely not enough. Not when you're at 28 points down. I mean, it is at 9 if closed, 20, 21 for the monastery. Minus the 9 you already have in hand, so 12 points over here, 24. And then, well, the city up top is dead. I don't know what then, but at least you might have a shot. Yeah, plus 24. Thanks, Otto, for confirmation. Yeah, roughly, but the problem being blue has the meeple in hand and would still have a +4 plus everything they get in the meantime. So yellow has to go for it and hope the starting tile hits immediately. Then they have 2 meeples in hand. And yeah, there are still other attacking options available. So a lot, actually. Quite a lot. And yeah, if they connect, even over here. So let's hope they go for it. Yeah, I hope he's not listening to the stream. If he were, then he would have pulled the trigger on this move a long while ago. Okay. Great for Marty. And what does he do? Does he try to outscore? Or will he add an insurance farmer somewhere? This is shabby, rather, because it gets blocked with all tiles. This would be a block. These are blocks. Um, right side of straight road over here. Yeah, that's the best one. Would have also considered this one, what that gets blocked the crossroads, whereas this here can't be blocked right now. So option 1 should be the move for blue. And then yellow's hope is getting the starting tile, blue getting the Dorito, and yellow getting a curve to equalize. The problem, though, is it doesn't help them. They need to score points. And, well, they could. There's a city cap there. I don't know. It's definitely not easy to spot, but if I see it at this time of day, can't be that hard. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, tournament. Okay. He has all the time in the world. I'll take a sip. So maybe Marty is considering other options, but he definitely shouldn't, because if he doesn't go there and yellow connects, yellow might later or quite likely might attack the field with a second farmer somewhere. And well, this here is the best connection at this point in time. So going there, having the chance to connect and taking this away from future yellow seems to be a must. And definitely the best move in terms of winning probability. Okay, in the meantime, let's see. Starting tiles are critical, right? I'm not sure whether this guarantees the win, Otto. I'm actually sure it doesn't. So let's consider yellow gets the starting tile, blue gets the road Dorito, then yellow gets the curve to go here, but yellow still has another meeple in hand. So these two are more or less equal, only that the blue one scores 3 points, and there's still a starting tile left for yellow to score. And then the question is, how many moves have they actually? 3, right? Yeah, I think some cases yellow could still win, or at least in the one case. And Marty found it. And yellow doesn't have the starting tile in hand. Blue has and wins the game because this is too late. Yellow is the second player in this game. They only have one move left. Yeah. So yellow's permutation was this one here. And this would have worked for yellow. Closing the city, blue can't connect, yellow drops the second farmer. Actually, blue would have blocked the city up top, so we would need to find another 4-point move for yellow, which... Oh, no. It's not a win for yellow because blue connects up top. Okay, then I think Otto was right. This here is a guaranteed win for blue. In the end, took his time, but rightfully so. Found the move which was out there, the one he had to find, and forced the decider here. Marty's last chance in this year's Champions League. Has to win this one, else his playoff chances are gone. And even with the win now, they are slim. He would be at 5 to 6 game wins. In most cases, 2-1 in round 5 versus Mikhail wouldn't be enough, and even a 2-0 in many cases would not work as well. Nonetheless, he tries best to win this one, and finding that move at least increases, or should increase, his confidence level. That could get rough pretty quickly. And now it's decision time for blue. They even add more problems to these two meeples docket. Not a fan. I mean, this is not a Migot situation, but a situation where cutting your losses would have at least been a consideration. But now he gets a saving move and sees it, which is not a given. Damn it. I tinkered a bit with this extension, but I have to tinker again. So basically, this one here, in many cases, saves these two cities. He just needs to get one dagger and one starting tile. Chances for each one to get at least one is 7/8. So overall chances are about 65%. Yeah, the problem for blue though is they already need the starting tile in another place. So Basically, they need 2 and a curve, and then this huge road here, plus all the cities could see them survive yellow's onslaught. Yeah, nice. Pulling the trigger, even though there are definitely problematic squares, but points are points. Blue closes their city, drops a farmer immediately, which is definitely a gutsy move. But seeing that yellow could run into trouble with their meeples as well, they nonetheless go for this. Definitely commendable. Oh, and now yellow's meeple trouble is over, and they will attack the field for sure. Here we go. A long road built by blue. Restriction over here to the starting tile, why not? Terrific stuff here. Terrific stuff. Yeah. A proper road 66, says the Finn. And he should know a bit about that with all the open space in Finland. Isn't it called Route 66? I think so. Yeah, yellow tries to break blue city. Did not connect at the bottom because they'd like to keep the chance of drawing the splitter alive, maybe? Just in case this square ends up as a dead, no, as a graveyard for these 2 meeples. And with this situation right now, yellow won't close the city up top. Could consider extending this one for once, because there are still so many caps out there. Blue is unlikely to attack. There are only 1 extender and 1 twin caps out there. Could also build up this one to have a nice move up their sleeve once they hit a starting tile. They go for it. Yeah, I like this. Also takes away splitters here. Thomas suggests Route 72 because of 72 tiles in Carcassonne. And I like that one as well. And the next restrictions to a starting tile incoming. Yeah. Whoops. Either BGA or majkls messed up. Or something is wrong here? No. majkls didn't score 2 points. Let me refresh again, just to be safe. Yeah. Looks like majkls didn't get the 2 points here. What is this about? Okay, quite likely during the refresh process. Finicky stuff. In the meantime, blue got an extender and restricted yellow's connection into blue's field. For now, that's not a huge deal, as yellow's field is worth 6 and blue stands at 9. And of course, there are still these connections here. Given blue's meeple situation, they need to close the city even if they merge the fields. At least it looks that way now. Yeah, blue expands this road here to give them some options to later claim it, maybe, if they get starting tile. Another option could have been to play against the city here, kill the square. I mean, 3 meeples in hand. There is a beautiful 7-point monastery spot available. There's not a lot to close this monastery, though, but maybe on the right side, building up a field there. Yeah, seems better to me. Could also just take a 6-point field and try to build this one up, which also would have options to merge into a possible main field later on. We'd see. Definitely a crucial point here. It's just, this is problematic. Only 3 road pieces to be used there. Yeah, in some cases could use a dagger and a curve there, but there are better moves with the dagger usually. That more or less would be going to waste next to this monastery. Yeah, in the end, it seems to be the least volatile move. Just taking the 6 points there, which could still be grow by quite a lot. And yeah, now we'll cash in up top. Even if it doesn't get completed, it's a 7-point move. So this one is dead in the middle, and the splitter is still available. One dagger drawn by yellow. Actually, I could just highlight all the dead squares at once. That's easier. So doesn't strike me as necessary right now for yellow to connect and giving blue the meeple back. Just building up their field. Or maybe protecting the city. Yeah, actually, I wouldn't have minded this move here. Giving 2 outs to close the city. And horses plus caps. Splitter gone. So these two meeples are dead. And from here on out, well, what does blue need? For one, their dagger, which would be a 2-point move, as this would extend the road by 2. The 3 points by the city are countered by the field merger. And then something up top. I mean, not crazy to go for this and hope for this one, although slim chances, very slim chances. So a second farmer there. If the fields merge, at least that's already in place. There is another 6-point field at the bottom. Blue takes the monastery, which is dead on impact. Arrival. And well, they need to get the dagger now if they want to have any chance. Yellow could just take the field here now. Add this cap to be claimed later for a second field, or the 4 plus 3 points. Ugh. This one? Yeah, blue connects. There's no reinvasion possible. And building up their side of the city doesn't seem to be a great idea, because they need to get this one anyway if they want to have any chance here, and immediately. Yeah, second meeple to main field by blue would be great, but there is no main field. Yet, at least. And with this one, it's over. This meeple won't ever make it into the right side field. Yeah. Not getting this dagger earlier. Yeah, Otto is criticizing this move, and he's completely right. What was out there? Yeah, blue should have placed it over here to connect with Crossroad. To have these two tiles, crossroads up top and the dagger, take away 6 points from yellow, score another 9 points here, and another 3 points there. Minus the 3 here, that should have been a 15-point swing. They say 9, 8. So 8, 14, 17, 14. Versus these two. So well, if we add the crossroads there, so an 11-point gain. Yeah, would also have been a consideration. The width. Nah, I think that would have been worse because the other dagger kills this, as you need your right-handed dagger there. And the same goes for the crossroads. And the horse as well. So I think if you go there, this would be the move. But as the other two have already started, if anyone would like to check out this situation, let me know after the second match. So let's open that one, take a look, and then we might take a look at the standings. Yeah, quick look. So majkls 4 wins, made it through to the playoffs, and has a decent, very good chance to get straight to the round of 16. A win against City would ensure that, and even a loss by 1-2 might work as well. Marty, on the other hand, is done. No, he still has a 5th match left, but even winning that one won't work to reach the playoffs. Even if there are, in theory, outside chances to reach the playoffs with a 2 versus 3 match record. Not in this situation with his tiebreakers and the other match results, though. Yeah, so these two, Fanatical Lime, I always swap Matt, Healy Rayner, and Chris Tucker, but I'm pretty sure that's Chris Tucker, so Matt Tucker's brother. And vegaorion, I think Goran from Croatia. Doesn't look good for blue here. They need to somehow re-invade in this city. And the lime might just close up. Try to close this one at the top to not give good chances to blue. So it's worth, what is it? 21 points now. Ugh. Perfect piece for blue. at the perfect timing. And what do you do if you're yellow? Quite likely not just continue there. And one of your road meeples is under threat anyway. Sure, these two are rather easy to liberate. Restriction into the dagger isn't that problematic. There are still all daggers in the deck. Maybe just this one. Try and complete this. You'd still have 3 vanillas plus the remaining splitter to close the city up top. Problem with this configuration though is once you add something up top, give away this one. Yeah, so in the end, patience. Patience is the answer. Just wait for a better tile. Harass blue in the meantime, and there was a beautiful spot, and the cow was the best piece to go there. Whatever he does up top, this one would give another chance to blue, even though with only a 50-50. This would allow the kill, which in the end might help blue if they manage to kill more of yellow's meeples. They then would have the option to just outscore yellow. So you have to suck it up, place this there, close the city, hope to get the right pieces to close your city next to it. And this here is not a foregone conclusion. They could have considered pre-closing their monastery. Yeah, but now yellow for sure will continue here. On the other hand, this annoying thing here, but really try to save your meeple. Okay, didn't work. No splitter left. Blue has 4 connection pieces. Won't use them there, of course. At least not now. And blue has an option to kill on this city if they get any curvy crossroad, because there are no horses left. All 3 are already on the board. Let me highlight Otto's comment. I think he would have used this move not for the monastery, which is nice, but for the completion threat here, which could only be thwarted with curves. And in our permutation here, the first curve went to yellow, and they would have saved their 50-50 shot at closing this city. Which doesn't matter. And now they have 3 tiles to get the monastery back. Okay, at least I know what's the problem here. One meeple in hand for yellow. Not a fan. There are 3 crossroads left, and now you can only use one to get the meeple back. I would have liked to pressure this one, and especially take away stuff like just happened here. Okay, if you get the love, why not? Yeah, blue needs to score points. That's why they didn't go for a restriction with a valuable city cap. By the way, why didn't blue claim the 4 points up top instead of this move? Why play fancy when you just would score? Yeah, sure, chances to close the city are great. But what happens if somehow yellow manages to block that one? Because, I don't know, you get another vanilla or the field Dorito, and they just, whatever, restrict you to the remaining road Dorito, go for the 50-50. Oh, doesn't look great for blue. Doesn't look great, but could change with one tile. Especially the rose would be very nice, scoring 5 points plus 2 meeples, but sad news for them. Yellow just drew one of the roses. So there is only one left. But it hits immediately. Yeah, no field to be taken there. Both are only worth 3 points for now. So you'd rather try to take this one. Yeah, actually, if I'm yellow, take the road and the field later with a curve. If blue doesn't go over here, and if blue does go over there, well, maybe you have to meeple the field somewhere else. Okay, right place, and chicken meeple or 8-head more upside meeple. Upside meeple it is. Nice one. Yeah, I can't do anything about the top there. Could use this over here. Yeah, that's a safe move. And I think blue's move should be this. Yeah. Yeah. This already would be at 6 points after the city. But as it's the last cap to go there, doesn't need to. On the other hand, claiming the bottom field doesn't really work anymore. There's only one curve left, but loads of connection tiles for blue up top. So this farmer here, if the road completes, would quite likely lose to blue's farmers up top. And that would have been the beauty of a meeple over here. That could still make it into the field. Although it's In that case, unlikely to be able to drop another one and get the curve to tie this field on the right side. Yeah, sounds fine. Seems fine. Taking these 4 minus 3 points doesn't work, as blue would just claim the field then for 6, even if this might connect. This here works like a charm. Curve gone. So yellow's road, 5 points for the road, 3 points for the field, minus 3 to blue's field. So a 5-point move after all is gone. Ooh, I'm not sure that was the right decision. Blue could have placed it over here to get the meeple back for 2 points, and then still would have had 2 meeples in hand to score on their remaining moves. Yellow takes away 3 points from blue. There's nothing to go here. This cap doesn't hit for blue. And the best they will be able to score are 4 points in the end. Either with the rotary to here or there, and looks to me like 3 points for yellow wherever would be enough. You just have to check whether there is another cap left, of course. Am I missing something? Don't think so. 4 points at the bottom as well. Yeah. So this move here, not convinced. I'm not convinced. Let's quickly check. Again, I don't learn, right? So if blue goes there, they get 2 points. Equal game. There are 2 tiles for yellow to score 2 points. For the city, 2, 1 for the monastery, 1 for blue's road. And blue would have 2 more meeples on their last 2 moves. Yeah, and actually, this doesn't work. This would work. This would give the connection here, which could be profitable for blue. But nonetheless, I think this move would have led to better winning chance. But I'm not convinced yet. Would need to take a closer look. But let's focus on their second game. which starts with a budding field fight, but we'll see whether yellow goes for it. So for now, there are two paths here. One is containing blue's field by trying to kill these squares and not give them options to enlarge the field. The problem is exactly this road. Once you drop a curve there, the field opens up and on top as well. No-brainer. Trying to restrict this one. Doesn't work. Okay, happens. Yeah, blue enters the mini battle, but that's definitely better than allowing yellow to draw caps there. We see a road meeple to attack this, or if yellow restricts here, at least get compensation. We don't. Okay, maybe a bit frightened about this situation. Yeah, what Otto says, this curve here also gave another option to attack the city. And that's the main reason to refrain from this move. Okay, now this one is wide open. So wide that I would have expected a second farmer by blue. On the other hand, there are still extenders out there, so yeah, meeple the cap, go for the farm later. Nice restriction, still two daggers out there. Well, yellow could play a simple move. Could also go for this one. It brings with it a bit of downside. That would be a limitation to a road monastery over here and a kill there. But they were able to defend. Blue drops the next farmer, attacking immediately. Yeah, yellow has to save the monastery with this field fight. And this, as of now, quite unlikely to be completed city at the bottom. They should have the meeple minority in the long run if they don't manage to close the monastery. Next threat by blue, any field plus road piece from the top. And it's dead, doesn't work. Blue entangles the road city situation in a nice way, snatching a secondary field, which might not be ideal. I mean, they have the meeples, they have a lead. But if this stays at 6 points, the city would surely outscore it. And yellow might be able to win the top field, and that could be enough in the end. For now, it doesn't look great with these situations. Yeah, but the vegaorion doesn't get a blocking tile. Ooh. That's a nice one. But there are extenders, so this could be walled off. At least they gave blue the chance to take away the straights. So I would expect yellow to drop a farmer there. Yeah, road monastery over here is a given. But that is rather easy to take care of it. Okay, maybe should mince my words a bit. A horse would be nice, so it's more likely that yellow kills this option than blue connecting. We'll see though. I mean, yellow has to be aware of this possible connection in the first place. And then there is another option, which is also problematic. They might not be. In this case, it doesn't matter. They get the road monastery, but that does the same to blue's chances to attack with 2 farmers over there. Yeah, and after yellow took over the main field for now, they are ahead. But the field is worth more than their lead. It's 18 points for now. So if blue connects here, that would be a 15-point swing and basically a tied game. Yeah, killing this connection. There's still another one. Would quite likely come with another farmer. I mean, it's quite likely better than waiting for blue to attack here. But yellow tries to close the city. Or at least protects the ruin from attack. Because closing this one will be tricky with the situation here, especially. Yeah, but now that's the prime chance, and yellow jumps on it immediately. Yeah, Imuk's meeple majority should win in a situation like this. But it's not over yet. these two here, for all intents and purposes, will stay there. Again, I don't see this one being completed. It might, but only an outside chance. And if yellow manages to get the monastery meeple back, then we have meeple parity. The chances, though, aren't great. And they either need vanilla and Dorito, quite likely in the other order. So first Dorito, then vanilla, or vanilla and monastery. Which would be nice to claim this one, especially if you had drawn the remaining dagger here to complete this city and be already on the field, and then you, in some cases, might not even claim the monastery and try to kill this connection. Which 6-point city next to yellow's monastery? To not. No, sorry, I misread the not. Yeah. Blue could have taken this. I think they just want to keep their meeple advantage in hand. And they actually wouldn't have minded a connection over here, right? Yeah, next chance for blue. They could close it, but they should connect. Because if they had closed this monastery would have still been alive. Now it's dead. Only one of these squares will be filled. So blue just needs a few more points here. This one will be attacked now. The question is how, and this should be the answer. Oh, it was blue's move. Sorry. I think that's a mistake. This would have been a good chance to kill this meeple. And there are still a lot of options to connect there. And you basically just need to connect to blue's farmer and you don't care about this one. Yeah, and looks like blue has to play this one to give them 3 caps and the field attack. One cap in yellow's hands. 2 caps left. Nothing yellow could do about the situation on the right side. They could drop their last meeple to try and connect here. But this is enough. They are at plus 16. I think they have to do this. The other option up top is way worse. Less connection tiles, leaving the city behind with no meeple in hand. Sure, your opponent already needs caps, but doesn't work up top. So yeah, this should be the move. And it's not easy to block because There are still options out there. The block would need to be to a curve, so stuff like this would work. Yeah, needs to attack. I mean, you're talking about 21-point field right now, 24-point field waiting to happen. Of course, not if yellow just gets all these tiles, and yeah, blue will attack up top now. But there are still permutations for yellow to win the game. Getting the crossroad definitely helps. So what do we do now? Well, the threat is this one. So we should play against this farmer. The question is which way, and it looks to me like this way is better, because then blue can't use the dagger to protect, which would be the case here. Although no, they don't even need the dagger to protect, because if the dagger is gone, there's nothing to attack to restrict this one anyway. So it doesn't matter. And it does matter. Does it matter over here? Will we have this to kill that one? Yeah, but did I say? Actually, I think it does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. If you get the dagger, you could block this anyway, from the right or from the top. And blue would never defend. So it doesn't matter. What matters is you have to attack this to have the dagger to kill this, right? Okay, thanks, Otto. In the end, blue got the last 2 outs. Could have lived without this one, but desperately needed the straight up top to connect. Yeah, yellow situation. The monastery, the ruin at the bottom. That's what cost them the game, not having enough meeples against blue's 6 farmer onslaught. Okay, yeah, I would, if I'd analyze this, start with this move. Think the limitation of blue's city would have been the better one, especially as that would have taken away easy farm attacks and would have left blue with less outs for the city. So the Rito and then starting tile, or I think Rose. Yeah, Rose. Yeah, I might have been a bit more precise to go for this restriction. And now we have a decider. Have I talked about the tournament situation for these two? I don't think so, right? Let's quickly check. Both are at 1 match win and 2 losses and -3 games difference. -2, sorry. Vega at 3-5 and FanaticalLime 2-4. So this is the first decider in Chris's fourth match, which then doesn't look good for their playoffs chances. Even a 2-0 in their fifth round match could not be enough. This early farmer here by blue, I mean, what are you going for? Are you going for a loop road? Well, then this scores 6 only, and you could drop it later on. And if you are going for a field, I think you should have rather gone over here, maybe. Yeah, actually, this would have been way better. Way, way better. The curve wasn't in place, but the rotorito was. So this would have set up indirect killing threats. Whereas now the situation looks totally fine for yellow. They just need something to attack blue city. Yep, here we go. 6-point farmer. And the road will be shared unless you get a crossroad beforehand and manage to connect there. Ooh, blue does not go there. I mean, there are still 3 daggers left, so the threat of getting restricted into this square isn't really severe, and you would threaten this square, which I mean, not many great moves by blue so far. Some are pretty bad, but they get saved by the deck. Yellow opts to go here to give them better chances to get the monastery meeple back. Don't do anything about this city, as there still are, well, all options out there, except for 3 starting tiles being gone. I don't think this self-restriction was necessary, and if you want to self-restrict maybe this one, it's always iffy to have a situation like that, especially when there's a blue meeple waiting, but with 6 total tiles to still go there. Yeah, okay. Farmer? Yes, please. Why is there no farmer there? Why is there no farmer there? This is a 9-12-point field waiting to happen. I mean, yeah, you are a bit tight on meeples right now, but come on. Yeah, this actually is a nice farmer. Blue can't take this field because both connections, both squares would immediately connect these fields. Ooh. Yeah. Um, doesn't matter. And this here should be yellow's win. Not sure whether I actually would have meepled that cap, but it's efficiency, peak efficiency, and it works. Blue immediately goes for the kill. Sergei, the 3-point farmer takes away the immediate re-attack by blue. The problem is there was this option for blue, but then yellow still had this connection. And anyway, it's a situation. I mean, you just drop this one there. Be done with it. Use the curve to expand your field or help your monasteries or do something else. Protect your city, whatever. Yeah. Does blue go for the 50-50? Will they restrict this to a starting tile? Or do they hope to get something better to kill this? Yeah, then yellow will place, of course, the indirect protection with only one tile to kill their city, but still 2 to close it. Yeah, given yellow meeple this cap, I would expect them to just expand their field. Another option could be to limit the growth, to cap the growth potential of blue's ruin. And there are still a lot of big city tiles out there. So this 1-point investment could allow you to reap quite some benefits later on. Yeah. They are going for it. The problem with stuff like that, with your last meeple in hand, are the aforementioned big city tiles. Just imagine blue getting the quad city. And the other problem is, once you close that city, you are not able to drop a farmer there. Well, unless you had gotten one meeple back in the meantime. But blue has a prime option to attack your now 12-point field. And then there is another big threat for yellow, and that is actually closing the city. Because this would allow a field merger, even one with a 9-point road. So not easy for yellow, but they get 3 tiles running to get a roughly 88% shot at closing in this city. And if they want to, they could even attack the farm there. Still 2 curves and a road monastery left to connect. Yeah, I would have expected no farmer. So the situation is still open enough to not do hasty moves and go for better connections. This one here, for example. No, no, just no. Just go here. I mean, this isn't ideal because there are no cows left. Yeah, there was a cow left. So this one's setting up the cow, else here maybe, but not there because you set up this one, which allows yellow to protect your blocking square. So kill here is not in the cards anymore, and yeah, here we go. And so it swings, and it swings into yellow's direction. The blue field here is under attack by 2 yellow farmers. So might even need to take away at least 1 chance to go there. No, 2. There's still a crossroad left. And a straight and a starting tile, so 3 to... Oh, damn it. 3 to connect. Yeah, connect, maybe here, because if you go there, then stuff like this could happen, which might be good for you. Or it might not, depending on who gets the option to attack there. This here is a rather safe approach. Ninjas right now would be blue one would be too early, with crossroads still being in the deck, and options to kill it immediately with other road pieces. And dropping a monk at this stage would definitely be a mistake. Keep the meeples for the field fight, which quite likely will decide this game, even if blue manages to close their city. Maybe even, especially if blue closes their city. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't like this. I mean, yeah, there are chances to build this up and complete it, but I think it's too risky. Yeah. Why not kill this one? You would have the chance to attack this. Does blue really hope to take over a unified field? Is this your only winning condition? Isn't it enough to add a farmer here and try to take over the top field? Yeah. Um, Now we have a huge field here. It's tight. And whoever manages to add another farmer without your opponent doing the same should win this one. The good news for yellow is they only need to thwart blue's attacks. They don't need to add the farmer themselves. The problem is there are attacks available that are unblockable with only one tile. There is still a road monastery left, so basically everything could happen. This here seems to be the best attack possible with monasteries and a vanilla left. Are there any other ways? I don't think so. I mean, the field is worth, what is it, 30 points? 30 points. Yeah, it's the field or bust. Although, at plus 13? 17 points? Seems a bit too much. So nothing else. Blue takes away this one. Could have also killed the cap here. Yeah, this works as attack with the road monastery over here or over there. Blue doesn't either. Takes away this attacking spot, which would have quite likely been the best one still available. Oh yeah, one thing about this here, this never was an option for blue, because yellow would have just equalized on the outside, so blue would have needed this one. The old road monastery trap, and it goes to blue, and now they only have to find an option to still attack this field now that they have killed this one. Yeah, looks lovely, but it's the wrong dagger. So Fanatical Lime ekes out a win here. Yeah. By the way, Otto, yellow could have scored more than 17 points. One monastery, second monastery, cap would have been 18 points. if the field stays tight, but that would have only worked if blue had attacked the field, weren't able to connect, and wouldn't have gotten anything, or at most 1 point for their ruin. So definitely unlikely. Yeah. The meeple, the monk, doesn't get back into yellow's hands, but it doesn't matter. In the end, they were able to outrun blue here, and let's take a look at this one. And this time I checked the move number beforehand, so it's 125. Actually, I hope I fixed the score problem. Yeah, it works. That's great. Yeah, this here would have been an option, but with these tiles out there, the likelihood of yellow connecting would have been pretty high. Yeah, that's right. Blue needed to attack the field, so the more critical situation came after yellow dropped their farmer. At this point, does it matter whether yellow gets their meeples back and their meeple back? It doesn't. The only tile we still care about is the road monastery, and either yellow gets it to connect, which would win them the game, or blue gets it and wins the game. So the one thing blue had to do was to find their best attacking spot to be completed with the road monastery, and this would have been one of the open road pieces, which would allow 2 connections. So either up top, over here, over there. Am I missing one? Yeah, the curve, although that's likely not the best. I think it doesn't matter. All of these options could get restricted, at least on one side, with city tiles, but the other side should be safe. So let's check. What is Otto saying? No, Sergey. This attack I commented on earlier, blue could have used, but that doesn't work because yellow just equalizes the field on the left side, and the road connection would put both farmers on the main field. So if blue uses the extender to attack, that had to go specifically over here. And even that doesn't work because there's this situation. But it has better chances because yellow couldn't go there. with Road Monastery or Vanilla. So yeah, I think there's no question that blue had to use one of these options to attack the field. Which one is best? Don't know if it makes a big difference. So let's consider them. This one here gets restricted to the outside chance with 2 tiles. Blue is starting player, so there's an option for yellow to kill this if they happen to draw both tiles in perfect order. No, there is not, because blue would protect their monastery connection. And if yellow uses the dagger, there is nothing to happen. There's just the wait for the road monastery for blue. Seems fine. Over here, one block would give yellow the other block and the same protection for blue. And whoops, this block, yeah, would be better because no, doesn't work. Sorry, late. Yeah, so it seems to be that these two are the same. And up top, yeah, it's basically the same situation as over here. It's the same configuration at least. Does this matter that we could attack this from there as well? I don't think so. No, this situation actually is it worse? Just missed that yellow could equalize over here, but then blue just connects there. Doesn't matter. And this up top seems to be the same. Yeah, take your pick. Which left attack, Otto? This one? Yeah, I think this works, and it basically works the same way as this would. I don't see a difference. Chris has this. No, sorry. Yeah. I thought we were still before his rotary to move, but I mean, it is there quite clearly. So yeah, we don't need to take into account any equalization of road monasteries, and then to me it looks like it doesn't matter whether you pick option 1, 2, 3. Quite likely this one would yield the same results. Yeah, because in all cases both city tiles block or one of the connections, but the other is still alive. Yeah, and the regular monastery helps to secure the other option in all cases as well. So to me, this doesn't look like there's any difference, but I might have missed a minute detail somewhere. Okay, if auto confirms, then I'm good. Well, let's take a look at the tournament standings. Maybe they have refreshed. Yeah, where are we? Here we go. So, Fanatical Lime, 2 match wins, tiebreaker of 4-5, in company of Tompa and Gladki Alex. Beaten by Krishna due to the more games won. vegaorion is out of playoff contention. Yeah, at least I think so. There might still be an outside chance. I mean, we could now simulate, but I'm actually not in the mood to simulate anything now. I'd rather do that next week when at least all participants have 4 matches under the belt. In any case, a 2-0 versus Adria is yeah, not inconceivable, but tough. Definitely a tough ask. On the other hand, I mean, yeah, we'll see. And even the 2-0 versus Adria, which I mentioned earlier, might just not be enough in the Space League. Yeah, to answer Otto's question, just ask Blue. So direct your question to Vega. Vega, if you see this, let us know, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, okay, and that should be it for me. Let me quickly check whether there's stuff happening tomorrow. So far, only Dremcard versus El Didorino covered by Alexi. If that stays the same tomorrow as well, and if there aren't any more matches scheduled, then I hope to see you on a Saturday, at least European Saturday, at 12:30 UTC for Phosphate or Y Gurgu Y, which should definitely be a high level matchup. And if I remember correctly, both have 2 match wins. So one of them definitely profit and almost secure playoff spot. Actually, let's check. I mean, why not? Yeah, so a 2-0 for Y would secure playoff spot. A 2-0 for Phosphate would give him great chances. I mean, there are still a few folks over there who could reach a tiebreaker of 7-5. And of course, these two could even go to 8-5. But if Phosphate wins, he'd be at 7-3, and then 1 game win should be enough in his last match. Yeah, high stakes, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying until the end. Bye-bye.